14.
I think I was like 8th grade freshman.
Yeah. And did you have like all the equipment already, or like did you have to like start like just buying your own stuff?
Yeah.
How did it work, bro?
Well, like I had to like start buying my own stuff,
Yeah.
and it was crazy because I had nothing. I started out with nothing, and then like I was like, well, how do I get this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
was DJing like? Because I feel like I mean DJing has always been a thing, right? But like, what were some big DJs that you kind of knew like when you started?
so actually, I didn't know any DJs.
Yeah.
And what the thing that was crazy that started it for me was I saw Diplo on a BlackBerry Verizon commercial back in the day. Yeah. And that commercial lives in my head rent free forever. And I saw it and I was like, that's the most dopest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And I want to do that for the rest of my life.
It was him, like, was he in a crowd or was he just like playing for like
he was just DJing, and it showed him traveling, doing all this stuff. And that's when he was still wearing like a suit. Well, he couldn't use to DJ. He would wear a suit. And I was like, that's the most craziest, dopest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And literally, it was a 30-second commercial for a BlackBerry for Verizon, and that changed my life.
Wow! And then from there, you were like, "All right, what do I gotta get to like
and that was
sell equipment?"
I was like, "That's what I do. Like, that's gonna be my job for the rest of my life."
Wow! And were you already kind of like, did you find yourself like just really into music? Or?
Yeah, since I was small, just loved playing music. I have pictures of me playing with a little keyboard, doing all this stuff. Yeah. My dad was always showing me like old songs from like the 50s, the 60s. Yeah. I was listening to like heavy metal music back then, like everything, and I just loved it all.
Yeah. Do you feel like as a DJ, it's like important to just have your ear in so many different genres? Just like understanding.
Yeah, definitely, because you never know what's gonna pop off.
Yeah.
Like who would have ever thought the banda corridos was gonna pop off like how it is now? Yeah. And like all the Latin artists and everything.
Mm-hmm. And you said you were a Corridos like fan, even like the OG fan type shit.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like I don't even know, like I don't know how to speak Spanish. Mm-hmm. I kind of understand it, but I don't know how to speak it. Mm-hmm. And you'll see me jamming out to that all the time, and I don't know what it's really saying, but I love how it is.
Yeah, I'm the same way, honestly. Damn, yeah, that's insane, bro. So, just a little intro. So we're live right now, actually.
Sweet.
This is Jonathan. He goes by DJ Dropdeadd. Also, aka Señor Muerto. Is that right? Yep. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody do most people call you Jonathan?
No. So actually, not almost everybody is gonna know my real name. Nobody really knows my real name.
Oh, what's your real name?
Well, Jonathan.
Oh, okay.
So everybody just calls me Dropdeadd, Señor Muerto.
Do you mind if because I could cut it out?
No, that's cool. So it's gonna be. I've known people for years, and they don't even know my. Yeah.
They just call you Dropdeadd.
Yeah, because nowhere on social media has my real name, so now everybody's gonna finally know. So if you see me, you can call me Jonathan.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. Yeah, because I don't see it like on your socials or anything. So, So yeah, bro. So I think I'm trying to think. So the first time I hadn't really officially met you, but you played at Eternal Day, I believe. Yeah. So the dudes from Eternal, so Demetrius and Tristan, those are my cousins, and so they I was doing like some filming for them that day. I think it was last June. Mm-hmm. That was the first time like I had came across you, and then I think I had seen you just through like later's posts and stuff, and like your J&K, and then I think the first time I had met you in person, or like officially met you, was at the later anniversary. Yeah. Which you played that night actually too. So, it's just it's a small city, bro. So it's so dope that we're able to kind of make this happen, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's super dope. My first podcast.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you remember how you came across the pod?
Actually, I do. I remember seeing someone repost it, and then I was like, "Oh damn!" I was like, "This is dope." Like I said, like I listened to a bunch of random podcasts, and then I saw yours is about mental health. Mm-hmm. And if you actually go to my Instagram, on my bio, it says your mental health matters.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Because for me, I've had a lot of life changing stuff, and to me, that was my main thing. Yeah. And that changed my life. When you start taking care of your mental health, everything else always gets better.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely want to get into like a lot of that for sure. But where does Dropdeadd come from?
So it's a funny story. So there's a band called Bring Me the Horizon. It's a rock band. Yeah. The singer, his name Ali Sykes. He has a brand called Dropdeadd, and the store is only in the UK. So in high school, I would order a bunch of clothes that said Dropdeadd, and everything. So on my T-shirts, I had beanies, sweaters that said Dropdeadd. So everybody just started calling me Dropdeadd. What? But it's funny though, because nobody would think I would listen to that music, and it's like hardcore screamo, like like so it's like the goat. It's like the Drake of that.
Mm-hmm.
So you see me and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and that's where my name came from. And the people who do know him, like that I listen to that, they're like, they knew exactly where that came from.
Wow. And you don't even nobody was really even like knew about the brand. Like you were probably one of the only people rocking that.
Yeah, and I still have some like sweaters to this day from when I was in high school rocking it. I had rings, I had necklaces.
Yeah. Damn, that's dope. Yeah, I like that name a lot. It's super, super catchy. And so yeah, you started when you were 13. Do you remember like your first gig, like official gig? Okay.
So the first one, I remember my first gig, like a general one. I actually played at what was it? There's there's like some yogurt place by the Five Guys right here off the Las Palmas.
I think it's a Crate. Is it
Crazy? Yeah, Crazy.
Yeah.
So they actually had a day in the summer and they invited a bunch of DJs to play, and I was one of them.
Oh shit.
So it was cool because I played. It was just people in the summer just jamming out, just out there.
And you already had like just experience on your own, just like
just in my bedroom and stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew something was good because I finished my slot time, and then they had another craze at the Fountains, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to go play there right now."
Oh snap!
And I was just like, "What?" Like I'm just like messing around, having fun, and they're like, "No, we want you to go play there right now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man!" Like.
So you literally just got all your stuff.
Yeah, and it was just people eating ice cream, nothing crazy. And then I had to remember my first like little bitty show.
Yeah.
And what was it? I was at a hookah lounge.
Okay.
I got so afraid because that's the first time people were just there to watch you.
Oh, okay. Like it was to watch the DJ. Yeah. Where was this at?
Cloud Hookah Lounge, the one that used to be right here off, I believe, George Dieter.
Okay, but it's not there anymore.
No. And I remember it was one of the most nerve-wracking things ever. I drank so much. I remember literally, I drank, what was it, like maybe 7 Twisted Teas, and I had never drank Twisted Teas before, and I didn't know they crept up on you. The moment I got off stage, just blacked out from like all the nervousness. Yeah,
bro, that's insane. Did you so how old were you at the time at this?
I think I was like 15, 16 years old.
And you were like in these clubs and these bars. Yeah. Wow, is that like a? I mean, it doesn't matter now because you're of age already. But is that technically allowed for like DJs to do that?
Like I guess so. Underage? Well, I guess not drink underage, but to be in there. But the thing is, at the time too, I didn't look that age. So I had a full beard and everything. People thought I was old enough.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So, and then from there, you just like started doing a lot of just local places. Would you bounce around, or when was like your first like? Because you call it like residencies, right? When was like your first like official like, all right, I'm gonna play here like every Friday, every Saturday, you know?
So my first one was there was this bar on Mesa called Barman right in front of Cometa.
Okay.
So I got a gig there. And
just do hearsay, just like
back in high school, I used to do a lot of what do you say, like hospitality for this brand Homework.
Okay.
I remember Junie talked about it.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
So they would do the things at Tipsy Tiger on Sundays.
Okay.
And I was their hospitality driver in high school. So I was driving all these artists around and everything, and they would throw parties, and then they would be like, "Whoa, we're having a party here. Do you want to DJ?" And then they threw a party at that Barman, and the next thing you know, I ended up just sticking there.
Oh, okay.
So that ended up being my residency.
Damn.
And I was in high school. It was like junior year.
And people knew you were a DJ, like that was just like your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you go to high school?
El Paso High.
Oh, okay. So you grew up like downtown or central or where?
No, I actually grew up in Northeast.
Really?
And I still live there, so.
Yeah. I grew up in the Northeast too. Where do you live? Whereabouts?
By Kenworthy, you know where the Three Pines is at?
Dude, hell yeah. I literally grew up right there cuz I went to Andrus. Did you go to Nolan or anything? Or?
No, I stayed. So it was weird because my mom worked in that area downtown at a doctor's office. Okay. So I went to Lamar, I went to Wiggs, and I went to El Paso High.
Damn, that's insane. Yeah, because I live literally, there's Nixon and then there's Nolan Richardson. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I love. Do you enjoy the Northeast? So I love the Northeast.
I love it. I mean, that's why I'm still there.
Yeah,
I love it.
Have you had the Casa de Torta?
Yeah, literally right there.
Yeah, dude, that's I feel like that's a Northeast staple that not only Northeast like people know about.
Yeah, and I love that it's literally like 2 blocks from my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hit up Three Pines ever?
No. I don't. It's 'cause I don't even drink.
Oh,
I don't drink or anything.
Yeah.
So
was that like actually you I saw you had a post actually that like you haven't drank in like. Or you haven't always drank, or like it was like a point where you just stopped?
it was just the point that I stopped because I mean I got sucked into that party life. I went too hard, and then one day I just had to call it quits. Yeah. If I wanted to continue doing what I'm doing, I had to like just call it quits.
So yeah, so you do that. That it's called barman.
It was barman.
Okay, yeah. And then when did you start? Because so now your official thing is like you do. I would say like, are you like the official J&K DJ? I would say that, right?
I've been with them for around 7 to 8 years already.
Oh, okay. So since then, like you guys already had made contact like through those parties and stuff.
Kind of, sort of. So the thing it was kind of like changing. So remember when Junie was talking about throwing parties at the Garden?
Yes.
On Trap Thursday.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to Trap Thursdays really bad, but I was never old enough.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would go is they had $5 burgers there at night on Thursdays. So I'd get out of high school, go eat $5 burgers, and I would order a Heineken with a burger. Mm-hmm. And nobody thought underage kid was going to order a Heineken.
Yeah.
So I would have a good burger with a beer, and they'd be like, oh, okay. So I was just there chill and everything. So when Trap Thursday started,
you'd just be in there.
I was already in there. And they had this one night, this DJ Gustafenstein.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really dope producer, everything. Mm-hmm. Something happened that he couldn't play, and they had set up everything already, like LED wall, speakers, people already there, and all this stuff. And I remember one of the managers was like, "You're a DJ, right? Go play. We need someone to go DJ."
What?
And from that night, that's how I met everybody from J&K.
Bro, that's actually an insane story, bro. Cause like that just goes to show you like if you just kind of put yourself in certain situations, like. You never know what opportunity is going to arise. And that could have, even though you had been already DJing, but you just being like at such a big, like I heard those parties were like pretty dope, right?
They're
pretty
crazy.
Big. And everybody's going to expect Gustafenstein, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, you just like, you happen to just want to be that in that environment. And then you have that opportunity, bro. So
yeah,
were you like ready that night, or like was it just like your heart was racing? Or
I mean, I was racing. I was like, I never played on a stage like that before. Yeah. Like to me at the time, that was the craziest stage I've ever played on. Mm-hmm. LED walls, speakers, people buy hard tickets to go see like Gustafenstein. Then you also have to deal with like you're playing. And these guys are expecting Gustafenstein.
Yeah, and like, who the fuck is this guy, bro?
And nobody had ever seen me before or anything. So they were just, and I just went along with it. And I was just, at the time I had my USBs, I had my music in it. I just carried them everywhere just for that moment.
Yeah. Did you use a laptop at the time or?
No, so I actually started out with a laptop, but like an old one with like some basic DJ software. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to this thing called Record Box, and that's where all the USB things were.
Oh, okay.
So I learned on that. So I always had my music analyzed. I had my music sorted out. I had everything ready to go. So for that, when that moment came, I was able to do everything.
So I don't think, all right, people don't really, because even though I've never been a DJ myself, I've always been like, so have you heard of HP Pro Sound?
Yes.
So that's my family's business, actually. I know they do. I was talking to Junie. I know J&K. They do a lot of, at least in the past, they did a lot of work with them. Anyways, like I've kind of always like been around like the DJ scene, and like my brother was a DJ for a little bit too. There's a lot that goes into it, bro. Like it's not just going up there and just playing like good music. Like, so what are some things that maybe not many people tend to like keep in mind when like they're DJing, as far as like just the technical side of things of like, yes, you can have this music, but like you said, like you said the term analyze and stuff. So like what goes into like just a whole production?
I mean, you got to find your songs that's good quality first. You got to run it through a program, and it gives you like the waveform, the BPM, all that good stuff. You got to set points where you want to start on a song if you want to like jump to it. You got to actually know the songs, because I mean, the songs that we played, not just like for shows and stuff, they're crazy weird edits. So you got to know what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. You got to know the energy of it.
Yeah.
And then once you get up there, the hardest thing to ever do as a DJ is read a crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
You could play all the bangers, but if nobody's feeling it, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, for sure. And so just going to that first point. So like the BPM is basically allows you, basically like matching the BPM allows you to make like a smooth transition. Is that essentially what it is?
I mean, you can, it's pretty good, but you could also do it without it. It's just learning more and more how to do it.
Okay. Yeah. And so there's so much preparation that actually goes before you even like do the show, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Like the night before, like you're just kind of going through your music, yeah. And also like, well, now I think it's a little bit different because we have like streaming platforms, but before then, you didn't have access to like all these songs, right? Like
you do and you don't. Okay. So there's like for DJs, we have special websites where we can get stuff.
Yeah.
So now it's super easy for her to get it. But back then, I still remember I was like, back then when I was doing like those garden parties, I would still download stuff on LimeWire.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I wouldn't know what I was downloading. So I would literally type in, like, I didn't know a bunch of DJs, like that much DJs. So I would be like top 100 EDM songs. Okay. And I would just get whatever came in and I would use it to my advantage.
Damn, yeah, that's crazy. And is there like copyright involved? Like, is that why like certain things aren't available, or like are available to certain DJs and stuff? Or
yes and no, but it's like the copyright for the DJs. I mean, you can do it because you're mixing it live and stuff like that. But it's kind of hard because with the DJs, when like the new websites, you can have intros, outros, special edits, and all that stuff, and that makes it even doper.
Yeah, for sure. And so like when you're going into a certain like maybe bar, or are you like kind of researching or just making sure what the crowd's gonna be like?
Well, my thing that I like to do for when I play, if I'm gonna play somewhere and it's new or something, I like to go a couple times before and just sit there like a little fly on the wall just to see what's happening. No, don't tell anybody that I'm there. Just do that. Just
scope it out a little bit. Yeah. Damn. Just so you can kind of get a feel for like the vibe. Shit, not even just like the people that are there, but even just like the whole ambience, right? Like you just want to match that. Yeah. So if let's just say you're DJing at like, are you playing? All right. So your main. All right. What would you say your main lineup is right now? So you do like tomorrow you're at later, right? So does it switch it up, or like what's your usual?
So later and Lost are my two main ones.
Okay, later.
And the cool thing I like about being with J&K is that I don't like, my main thing is I don't like being at the same spot every Friday, every Saturday. Yeah. So I have a thing where I like to flip flop every week. So I'll be there one Friday, one Saturday, one Friday, one Saturday, and then we have a show sometimes. So I'll be like, I'll be at Lost on a Saturday or a Friday or a Sunday. Oh, okay. And then the other spots, if I have a day open, I like to just reach out to another bar, be like, hey, I have this day open. So that leaves the other ones around. So I move around from a bunch of other bars too.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not just stuck at the same ones.
Yeah, it doesn't get like stale, you know. Do you do Thursdays?
I do.
Yeah. So today you had to make us an exception.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wanted to be here. Yeah, and the cool thing is that Thursdays I'm at El Mirador at the Paso del Norte. Yeah. So I'm there like every other week. So every other week to every 2 weeks. So it's cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. And are you playing at all these different places? Like you're playing different music?
For the most
part? Yeah. You have to. So at like, let's just say, just because I know people who listen to this, they go to all these bars, right? What are you playing at late? Like what goes like works at later? I'm sure it's different some days, but like, is it a lot of like more hip hop, or like just what's your strategy?
At later it's cool because so when I first started, it's cool because I've seen it change. So I've seen it a lot. Like before, it was just mostly hip hop. Yeah. And I've gone through the reggaeton, where it's just a bunch of reggaeton, and then old school hip hop, and then sometimes the new hip hop doesn't work. Yeah. And then recently, it just started throwing in like all the old house classic EDM classics, like your Calvin Harris, your Cascade, and that just goes off. So it's cool because you're not expecting it, but now it later is known for like something like that.
Wow. So it just changes all the time. And throughout like the set, like, you're actively like reading the crowd, you're seeing like, how do you know that they're feeling it?
I mean, you could just see, that's a cool thing. It's like when I'm like a fly on the wall too, in that little corner that I'm in. Yeah. I just look up and I see people moving, dancing. You can see where their energy's at. You could just throw in something crazy random, and you hear people say, "Oh."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What does that feel like, bro? Like after, I'm sure it's pretty exhilarating, right? Like when you just have the place like going, right?
Yeah, dude, it's fun. It's the most fun thing ever, and that's my thing. It's like I don't see it as a job. You get paid to do what you love.
Yeah, for sure. And then I see you played at you open up for a lot of like the big DJs that come out of town, right? Yeah. What's like the most? I'm sure there's a lot, but what's like the most memorable show that like you can think of?
So with Clooney last year.
Clooney.
Okay. Everybody's on him. He's one of the biggest DJs right now, right? And then I remember I played after him, and he was just having fun. He looked at me and he was like, "Yo, my bad. I don't mean to take up your time. Like I want you to play," but he's like, "I want to keep playing too." He was like, "You want to play with me?" Wow. So we played together for about an hour, back to back, and that's like, to me, that's one of the most crazy things ever, because I've never seen him play with somebody else unless it's like a big, humongous DJ and stuff. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey, you want to play?" And I was like, "You take the right two, and I'll take the left two, and we'll play together."
How does that work?
So it would be like one song. So we have two CDJs on each side, And then I play one song, he's picking another song, and then while he's like playing that one, I'm looking for another one, going just back and forth.
So you're just playing off of him.
Uh-huh.
Damn, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's badass.
And it was like the most craziest thing ever, because I would have never thought in my life that I would be able to play with one of my most idolized DJs ever.
Wow. And that was at Lost and Found?
At Lost and Found.
I think I've seen a picture. I think it's probably you guys like side by side, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
And it's crazy because Lost, you never know what's going to happen. Like, I would have never thought that was going to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. Why Lost? Why is it like it's just unpredictable like that? Or?
Yeah, and just the vibes are crazy. The whole place, like, you from the outside, it does not look like what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah, I don't think I've maybe been once, but it hasn't been for like an event, just like a bar scene, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, you would never expect it like that. And like the DJs, once they start playing, they love the vibes. They just like, you know what? Like, it's one of the coolest things they can ever do.
Wow. So people love, like, DJs like to come play that.
Yeah, they love it. Like, and they compare it as like the Space Miami of El Paso.
Wow. Okay. Space Miami is just like a big club down there. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow. Damn, I definitely need to pull up. So you said on Sunday there's
Beltran.
Okay.
That dude's one of the dopest DJs ever. I even have a remix to one of his songs. So it's one of my other DJs. It's like I have a remix to his song and I'm gonna get to play with him.
Yeah. Damn, bro, that's so sick. And you actually, when did you start? Because you have your own music too. When did you start releasing like your own songs?
About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, barely.
Oh, okay.
So I was just DJing, and then I started out producer because I was like, I think I've already done a lot as a DJ, but my next step is learning how to make my own music.
Okay. And that was always something you wanted to do.
Yeah, always. I just never knew. It just the same thing. Had the time that I put in as a DJ, you had to put the time in as a producer.
Yeah. So what are like the first steps you kind of took to do that?
I mean, the main thing is like buying the program. The program is thing. You see so much stuff on there. You're like, what the hell is it? And you're just learning the same thing. Like when I learned how to DJ, I was like, what does this button do? Oh, this does this. Yeah. What does this button do? So now the same thing with producing. What does this do? What does this do?
Yeah, you're just experimenting. Uh-huh. And do you have is it a beat pad or like how does it?
No, I actually just have my computer and then just learning how to do stuff. I have a small little keyboard that I can help do stuff.
Yeah. And how many songs have you made to date?
I think maybe around 10, 15 more or less.
Oh, wow. And do DJs, do they tend to put out albums? Or?
They do. Yeah. They put out albums, but they're smaller albums, of course. But they can put out. I know a bunch of DJs that are just hoarding music for full-on albums.
Yeah. And do you mix in your own songs at these events?
I do. And the cool thing is I don't tell people that they're mine, and you see the crowd reaction and they're like, oh, that was it. And I'll get a DM. Wow. What song was that? Or something like that. And the cool thing is some DJs that talk to other DJs, like the big ones, they said if one of the other DJs told me that I heard that you're going to blow my mind with the last songs you play right before I get on.
Wow.
And he told me that, and I was just like, what? And I was like, oh, damn, that's pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. And I played it, and he looked at me, and he was like, what song is this? He was like, what song is this? He was like, I thought I only had this song. Like,
damn.
And it was pretty cool. It's a really dope feeling for some, especially a big DJ to come in, and they say, other ones are talking about like that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Is there, do you ever have you traveled to go play?
I haven't. So another story behind that is I've been on probation for 6 years.
Really?
And I actually barely got off 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay, bro.
So pretty much my whole adult life, I've been on probation.
Wow. Well, dude, first of all, congrats. I mean, that's fucking amazing. I don't know, are you comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's part of one of the big reasons why I go with the mental health thing.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, first of all, so you grew up here in El Paso, right? Did you have any siblings?
I have a half brother and I have a half sister.
Half brother, half sister. You obviously got into DJing really young. Is that something you saw a career in from the start, or is it did you have maybe a plan B or C or anything? No,
just straight up. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. Wow. I called it. I was like, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Wow. Okay. That's actually not rare, but in a way it is, because a lot of people they have, I mean, I guess for me too, we all have the dreams that we actually really want to do. And then I guess in today's society, some of those things we consider it's a thing just to kind of have a backup plan, right? Or just a safe, just a safe route. But the fact that you knew from the start, did you grow up with both parents?
I did.
Yeah. And what did they have to say about the DJing and stuff?
So they were about it, and they're like, okay, you're cool and everything. And then I had my little controller. I remember my first controller my dad bought for me. I remember I was at the swap meet.
Oh wow.
And the guy had it for $300. I begged my dad and for like, come on, please. It's like, I want to do it. And he's like, all right. He bought it for me. He saw what I was doing little gigs, practicing every day, doing it every day. And he was like, okay, they're about it. And then what really changed is after graduation, they had a bank account set for me for my college fund.
Wow. Okay.
And the day I graduated, they gave it to me, pulled all that money out. It was $10,000. And I bought all the best DJ equipment you could.
Wow.
And that's the same stuff that we play like at Lost and Found, like all that equipment. Wow. So I was 18 with $10,000 worth of equipment, and I made it work.
Your life savings,
everything,
essentially. Wow. You literally went all in. Like
yeah.
That's all you had. That's crazy.
And it was the best decision of my life.
Yeah. So when did you like? What would you say is just like the toughest thing you've had to overcome mentally?
Honestly, the drinking and the partying and all that stuff.
Yeah. Did that? I mean, you kind of started drinking a little young, right?
Yeah, very. And the thing is that I never went to house parties in high school. I never got invited to that because I was a little weird kid in high school and all that stuff. So I never did. So I went straight to the bars.
Yeah.
So that changed my whole thing. A place where nobody knew who I was. Nobody cared about my history. They didn't care. And nobody asked how old I was. They just wanted to party.
Yeah. And as a DJ, I mean, essentially you drink most of the time for free, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure, like, do you remember what age, like, it just kind of ramped up? You, like, just started going hard?
I mean, literally from, I would say, like 18, 19. And the thing is, like, I would go around, like, DJing. I only went to the spots where I would DJ. Then you start meeting so many people, and then you meet managers from another bar. Yeah. And then they'll be like, oh, come hang out with us over here. So next, I was drinking just when I was DJing till, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then like I still be in high school. Yeah. So I would like get out of school and go to these bars, just drink,
That's so crazy, bro. Yeah. Did you? Yeah, that's actually pretty funny, bro. Cause like, did anybody like, did your friends or anything know that like you were like?
Oh yeah, they all knew and everything, but they would be like, "Oh, what'd you do till last night?" I was like, "Oh, I went over here, and it was crazy because like at Barman, I would get all my friends in. Oh, okay. So you see a bunch of people from high school, but they wouldn't look like they're in high school.
Shit. Damn. Okay. And did you were you still keeping up with like your classwork and shit, or like?
And no, honestly, I wasn't. So it's crazy because I was like, you know what, I'm doing good on this. I was like, screw school.
And you're making pretty good money at the time.
Yeah, I mean, at the time I was making like maybe $150 a night as a DJ.
I mean,
but in high school, bro,
yeah, that's good.
And it was cool, and I was like, yeah, like I'm good with that and everything, And then the crazy thing is that I forgot about school completely. And I didn't know I was going to graduate high school to the last 10 minutes of the last day of school.
What the fuck?
Yeah, literally all my teachers got together. They're like, look, we're going to give you some papers. You finish these papers before the end of the day, you're going to graduate.
Wow. And that's a blessing, bro.
Yeah, and it was crazy. My parents were there on those parent portals looking at my grades all slowly go up little by little. They were like, damn, he's going to make it. Is he going to make it?
And that was the last day.
And the last day. While everybody's having fun at their little parties. Imagine, as a senior, you don't do anything the last week. And I was just there the last day doing all these papers,
bro. Yeah. Once you graduate, like once they said, okay, you're good, were you like, oh my God?
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it. I really thought I wasn't going to graduate.
Yeah. Oh man, that's insane. So once you graduate, do you just go full into
DJing? So the crazy thing is, I had a residency at Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, that sounds very familiar.
It was where the garden was at.
Okay.
Right next to it. So I started playing there and everything. So that's when I already had the equipment and all this stuff. So literally on my graduation day, I walked across and everything, changed, went straight to Dark Horse to go DJ.
Wow. Okay.
Like no graduation party. I didn't even want to have a graduation party. I was like, I don't think I deserved it. My parents threw me one and everything a couple of days later. But I went straight back to DJing. Literally, imagine, change out of clothes, go straight to the bar.
Yeah. So you're super passionate about it.
Super passionate about it.
And you end up so when did it kind of like the drinking, like when did it really start to like affect you? Because you said you stopped, like you're sober for like a year and
like a year and 6 months.
Wow. Okay. Up to that point, like was there time before that where you're like, I need to stop, or
yeah? So what ended up happening? I remember it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. I got super trash and everything, and then I went to another bar, and it was like a narco bar.
Oh, well, narco bar?
Yeah, like narco. Okay. So it was a bunch of guys, like everybody there. I ended up getting so trash. I was borderline blacking out, and I had gotten into a lot of coke. And I just like, I need some coke to wake me up to do something. And then I went to the restroom with some guy that I met. He goes, yeah, I'll sell you some. I go into the restroom with him. Another guy follows. He stands by the door to make sure nobody comes in. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And I told him, I just need an 8-ball. And he was like, no, you're going to buy $1,000 worth of coke right now. And I'm borderline blacking out. I see a guy right there standing at the door. So I was like, something's going to happen to me if I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I buy it, get in my truck. A block later, I get pulled over. It was an undercover.
What? Wait, the undercover that he forced you to...
Because it was like they were doing sting operations for like the bar, because it was already like a Natgio bar.
Yeah. Wait, hold up. Wait, so isn't that like, you don't, I mean, essentially you were gonna buy the coke, so yes, and that makes sense.
So I'm the one asking around, yo, who has it? Who has it? So they go, yeah, we'll have it. Yeah. And I still remember on the police video, I'm driving, and on the police card, look, there he is. There's Jonathan driving. What? They pulled me over, find everything. I knew exactly where it was, everything.
Like, they said your name?
Yep.
What? That's insane, bro. But the fact that, like, I don't know, it's because the fact that you were already buying it, okay, I get it. But it was like, they kind of like forced you to buy that much.
And the thing is that they were going to give it to me in $20,000 in 20s.
What the fuck?
And I was like, no, I'm not going to, if I buy that much, you have to open it and give me one giant sack.
Damn. And so, like, damn, that's not like what's the word?
Entrapment?
Yeah, that's not like
there was some weird law in the court for it, and there was because I was the one.
You had a lawyer, right, and everything.
And that was because I was there looking for it, and I was gonna buy some either way.
So if it would have been like different, obviously, if you were just in the restroom and then they forced you to like fucking buy it, right? Damn, bro. And what's unfortunate is like, all right, yeah, like coke is like, yeah, it's a drug, it's illegal, right? It's very big in the party industry, though, right? Like,
it is, and I'm telling you that's the drug that got me sucked into everything.
Yeah, is it like? Do you see it everywhere? Like,
oh yeah,
being honest, yeah.
Honestly, yeah, you see it everywhere. It's everywhere. If you're gonna be in the nightlife, it's gonna be there.
Yeah, and what is like? Obviously, I'm not trying to like fucking endorse it or anything, but why do you think? What is it about it that people get so much into it?
You become Superman. You could be the guy that never talked to a girl, all of a sudden have the confidence to talk to a girl.
Wow, okay.
You had to.
And where do I get this shit? Nah, just kidding. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. That's crazy. Yeah. And also, does it like? I heard it sobers you up.
It does for about 5-10 minutes. Then you want more.
Oh, okay. So that's like the. Damn. Is it addicting?
It's addicting if you have an addictive personality. I mean, I know a bunch of people that have tried it and they don't like it. But the thing is, too, I never did drugs before or anything. So this was the first drug I did.
Not even weed. I
smoked weed one time in high school. Hated it because it made me sleepy. And then so I'm a very up-go person. So I'm always working. Like I told you, I just got off work, came here, and then do other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm always working. So I needed something to keep me going.
Yeah, for sure.
And at the time, I was DJing 4 or 5 nights a week. So I just needed something to keep me going and going and going.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, bro. And along with the drinking, like, I'm sure, were there nights like throughout that? I mean, you obviously didn't, you stopped drinking up until like a year and a half ago, but were there just certain nights where you're like, I just can't continue to do this?
No, well, the crazy thing is, so after I got arrested from that, right?
Yeah, so you went to jail?
Yeah, I went to jail, got out, all this stuff.
How long were you in there?
Just 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah.
You got bailed out?
Yeah, I got bailed out.
What are you feeling like? All right, you get arrested. Is like, take me through how you're feeling like in the cop car, bro. Like, what's going through your head and like what's...
I still remember I'm just there in the back of the cop car, and then I'm just there handcuffed. The seats are hard as fuck. They're plastic, so I'm just like, that fuck. Like, yeah. And then I'm just there. I'm just like, you know what? I just gotta man up to it. Like, you got arrested. You did what you're not supposed to. And I'm just like, just go take me through what I have to do. Like,
were you thinking about your parents at that point, or?
Oh yeah, because my dad's he was a correctional officer.
Oh fuck.
And so it's already bad. And then my mom, she never drank. She's never done drugs. She's very religious and everything. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna break my mom's heart with this. Like, I already know what's gonna happen and everything. Yeah. So I'm just there. I was like, man up, like, you did it. And it was like, especially for the amount that I bought, like, you definitely have to man. You can't say, oh, it wasn't mine. Like, yeah. Like, I'm already in bars at 16, 17 years old. I'm 18 when this happened. And I'm like, I've been living a man's life since high school. Sure.
So at that point already, like, you didn't blame anybody else.
No,
it was just like, it was me, and fuck it, whatever. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do type thing. And what did you do? How'd that go?
I mean, went to court, did all my stuff, went on probation. I stopped partying for around maybe 5-6 months because while I was on probation, I was still partying, doing all that stuff. You find out when they're gonna drug test you, when you have to report.
Were you still DJing?
Oh yeah, still DJing. So the cool thing is that I told the judge that I'm a DJ and like I pay taxes towards it. I do it. It's my real job.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, you're not, when you're on probation, you're not supposed to be in bars or drinking or anything. So I got special permission. So they're like, well, you can still DJ and everything. So I was still living that party lifestyle.
Yeah. And
just knowing when to stop, like a week before I go check in. And
wow. Okay. So you already knew down pat like what you have to do.
Yeah.
And what did you just hit a point where you're like, all right, I gotta chill out, I gotta stop?
No, and the thing is, it took me. That's what I'm saying. That was in 2018. Wow. And I barely stopped a year and a half ago, so it took to that point for me.
Did you ever get back into trouble, or you were?
Oh yeah, so I actually got off probation October 2020, and I got rearrested again March 2021.
For what?
So I was going through a hard time with my daughter's mom. We broke up. I was just wilding out.
Yeah.
I had just bought a brand new car, a brand new BMW, and I was going out every night doing everything, partying. I mean, my baby mama moved out. She took my daughter, so I had a whole apartment to myself. And that was the first time I can do anything I want.
Yeah. And
then I remember I ended up drinking, got super trashed. I had a bunch of coke in the car again. I had some guns in the car, and I took the police on a police chase.
Damn.
Around 140 miles down here in Zaragoza, George Dieter, drifting through the streets.
Holy shit.
And then I ended up hitting a pothole. It made me fly, and I ended up hitting a fire hydrant.
Wow.
And that's how it happened.
Bro. I mean, first of all, like, you're like, you can easily like not make it out of that situation.
Yeah, and it's crazy that I did. Like,
yeah. Were you injured in that?
No, the crazy thing is that even when I crashed, I still took off running.
Wow. Okay. Was it like you were just were you still messed up at that point, or you were just like, I just can't get arrested again?
Yeah, I was like, I had the coke on me. I was like, I already had a drug charge. Yeah. The second one's gonna be horrible. Like, they're gonna keep that on me forever.
Yeah.
I had guns in the car. So guns with that, and I'm already evading arrest. That's another felony.
Yeah.
And then you're drunk. I have to give you another DWI, and then they give you another one for endangering people for driving like that.
Wow. How much of it was like, what do you think was like the main thing leading you to, even though you kind of in your mind, did you knew you were like messing up, or like you knew?
Oh yeah, I knew the whole time. And every time I did something, I knew I was messing up. I was like, there's another strike on my thing. Yeah. There's another strike.
And what was it? Was it just like living in the moment type thing?
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, it's the whole thing. Like, at the time when you get into a fight with my daughter's mother,
yeah,
they don't want to talk to you. Your family doesn't want to talk to you anymore. I was just living alone in that apartment. What else am I gonna do? It's like not a cliche, but like you're there by yourself. You fuck up your family. You fuck up everything. You're there drinking, partying by yourself.
Wow. And did you were you together with like your baby mama for a while, or?
Yeah, we were together for a very long time. And honestly, just sad to say, that's what messed up everything: the drugs and drinking.
And so you guys, I mean, how long had you been dating?
We had been together for about 2.5, almost 3 years. Because during COVID is when everything, like, we had been dating before. Yeah. And then we got back together, and then she got pregnant with my daughter, and that's when COVID hit. So we were living together, so everything was perfectly fine. We were together every day, you know, like there's no going out, there's no anything. Yeah. And then once the ban got lifted, I started going back to DJing, and that's where I got sucked back into it.
Oh, okay. Is it a lot of peer pressure involved in the bar scene? Like,
it was at first, but once you stand your ground and they finally know. Like, yeah, you never. I've honestly, to this day, I have not got peer pressure from this 1.5 years to anybody to do anything.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean, it's like a respect thing. Like, if they know that's like what you're on, it's okay. They'll probably like give you shit a little bit, but at first, and then after, it's like, oh,
yeah, it's crazy though, because now I'm known as the sober DJ.
Yeah. So there's not many like sober DJs out there. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's tough, bro. Yeah. And so, can you kind of describe like, just mentally, what's like the hardest moment you had to overcome mentally? I mean, is there like a specific moment you remember, like, I need to like I can't do this anymore, you know?
Yeah. So actually there's two. Yeah. So one of them was, I remember, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the first when my daughter was born, I was a horrible father because the drugs and alcohol got me. Like it got me.
Yeah.
One of the moments was my parents took her to the zoo, and I was so fucked up and so tired I couldn't go. And they're sending me pictures while I'm just in bed, like there, and that like changed me. But the thing is, I still partied afterwards, so I was like, I need to do something. So that was one of the clicking points for me. The one that actually changed everything the most was the year and a half ago, where I was partying so hard, like I was buying about $1,000 worth of coke a week.
Wow.
And just doing it myself, staying up for so long, and then I couldn't, like, you didn't feel safe in my own room anymore.
Wow.
Like, so you could, like, you know, your home is your sanctuary.
Yeah, yeah.
I was there staying up. I was seeing stuff, hallucinating, doing crazy ass stuff. And then it was for 2 weeks. I stayed up for almost 2 weeks, like just nodding off, sleeping for like an hour, waking up, doing stuff, you know? And I specifically remember I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I don't feel safe in my own room anymore. I grabbed the big ass Coke bag that I have and just flushed it down the toilet. And I still remember to this day, it was pouring rain outside, thunderstorm, crazy wind, everything. And then I poured it down. All that stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was like a sign from God, literally. Like, and it's crazy to say it's a coming to Jesus moment. Like when they say, you know, when you have to stop, when you can do it yourself, like that. And what's crazy is I never got the urge to ever do it ever again.
Wow.
No cravings, no withdrawals, nothing. For the amount that I was doing, everybody was like, how?
Yeah. I was just gonna ask that, like, what was the after effects of that?
And it was crazy. I got nothing. It was like if I got blessed by like not having to, like, okay, like you have to really want to quit.
Wow, that's crazy, bro. I mean, damn, yeah. And so you flush it down the toilet and you're just like, fuck, like I'm just done.
Yeah, like I was done. And what's crazy, I fell asleep that night, like just everything. And then I told my parents, I was like, you know what, I quit. Yeah, like last night I said I quit drugs, I quit drinking, and that was it. And they were so happy about that.
Wow. And then from like you're talking about like that moment, like at the, like when your daughter's at the zoo and everything, like what's that feeling like when you're not, like, because I'm a nephew, like I have a nephew, and so it's different. But I still can feel like sometimes, like if I don't make his game or something, I'm like, damn, bro. So what's that feeling like when you know you're not kind of just doing what you're supposed to do?
It's the worst feeling ever. Like worst feeling ever. When you know that you're a bad dad. Not when other people, when you know yourself you're a bad. Nobody has to tell you. They just look at you and you know you're that bad dad. Yeah. And then from that point on, like once I quit everything, I made sure I give my daughter the best life that I could.
And so, do you guys like have like what is it, like split custody? Or
yeah. So I get her every Saturday through Monday night.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy. Those are the days that I DJ, you know?
Yeah.
And all my free time, whenever any little free time, I'm always with her. I'll be anywhere, still call her. It's funny though, because I'll get FaceTimes from her while I'm DJing. You'll see me looking at my phone. It's just her crying, "Where are you? I want you to come home." And I'll be DJing at like the bars, and I'm there talking to her.
Wow. That's amazing, bro. I mean, but what's some of your favorite things to do with her?
Dude, it's funny though. She likes to play dress up. She's into a bunch of characters, and it's funny. So it's like she'll be into this one called Ladybug, or she'll be into like Wednesday Addams, just everything. And I'll get a matching costume with like the sidekick of whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
So I actually dress up with her. It's funny. And she'll be there. Can you put it on? Can you put it on? And I remember one of the points, she was into Toy Story a lot.
Yeah.
For Halloween, I dressed up as Woody.
I saw that, yeah.
And she was not expecting it. I walked out and she looked and she was like, "Who's that?" Like I shaved my beard. I did everything. And on my boot, I put Zoe underneath. Oh, wow. So she looked at it and she was like, "What?" Like she was like, "This is my own Woody." And then she was like, "Oh my God, it's my papa." Like,
dude, that's
and
amazing.
That was like one of the best feelings ever. Like they can give her something like that she would love so much.
Yeah.
And I can do it for her.
That's amazing, bro. And have you recently, like, are you back like dating and stuff, or?
Honestly, no, dude. Like once I found my peace that I know I wasn't doing anything, I just need my daughter, just my parents, and make sure I'm good with that, and that's it. I actually have not gone back to dating. Yeah.
So you feel perfectly content, like just having time with yourself and everything.
Yeah, I think that's the best feeling ever, because you look for times when you're low and everything, you want somebody to be there and everything, but when you can be by yourself and you just the family that you need and everything, it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Are you religious or spiritual?
I am Catholic.
Catholic? How did you grow up Catholic? Or?
Yeah, so since my mom was very religious, we would go to church every Saturday. We went to posadas. We did all this stuff. So, and that's another thing too. I was like, I literally, in that life-changing moment, I prayed to God. I was like, help me any way you can. I was like, I promise I'll never touch this stuff ever again. And that's when everything changed.
Wow. And how do you feel like, for someone who's like not super religious, I guess everybody like has their own beliefs, right? But what would you like advice you'd give to someone who just wants to maybe like they're looking for something and like how would they get closer to God? You know, how do they kind of start with that?
I mean, I would say look at the little signs. Like they said, God always gives you signs. There's little signs that will always be there. You just got to look at them and notice them. And because like they said, stuff happens for a reason, but he will put something there to help you. The littlest things will, and you're like, whoa, I wonder how this happened. Well, I think that would always be like, there's your little sign.
Yeah, for sure. And from now on, like, do you plan on like just, do you ever want to drink ever again?
Nothing. No. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I promised that. And I was like, that's one promise I will keep forever.
That's amazing. What are some things that you kind of want to accomplish like in the next, because you sell cars as well. When did you actually get into that?
So I actually started selling cars right after COVID. So that I was working at Viva, and then so I was selling cars right there right after COVID. So I was just there selling cars, and that's another reason why I got sucked back into.
So that was like your day job.
My day job, and back then I was only DJing one night a week. So I was doing that, selling cars. Everything was good, and as weird as it sounds, you know how they always say car salesmen always do coke and stuff, and I got sucked back into that because of that.
I heard like being a car salesman is actually like they're actually very much involved in like the party scene, maybe. What is it about that job that you think?
It's you make a good amount of money for a little work. You just got to put the discipline and the time into it. So when you can sell a car in 45 minutes and do work, paperwork, everything, and you just made $5,000 on that car.
Wow.
So it's like you did that. I mean, that's someone's, like, that's more than someone like for their whole month pay. And you can do that. You can sell anything, like make $100 up to whatever.
Do you even have to work that many hours?
It is. It's very tight. It's a long, and that's another reason why. So I was working, like I said, I worked a lot. So when I was at Viva, I'd go in at 7, 8 in the morning, not leave till 9 and 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And then I would still go DJ.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I would still go DJ and then go home. By the time I get home, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and be back at work again 7 a.m.
And that's when you gotta do the deed to get back up, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucking intense, bro. And like, but if you're only selling like maybe if you're lucky, you get maybe how many cars a week?
It just depends. It just depends how the economy is and everything. But I mean, like, you can have slowly, we can sell maybe like 2 or 3 cars a month.
Oh wow.
But also too is you can make those 2 or 3 cars make you $5,000.
Yeah.
Depending on what you sell.
So what are you doing if you're not selling that many cars, what are you doing from 7 to like 9 p.m.? Is it just talking to everybody?
Talking to everybody, posting Instagram, Facebook, doing all that stuff, hoping someone comes in, you know?
Wow. So do you know, like, it's probably a very small percentage of people that actually go in and buy a car, right?
And actually, it's a lot of people that actually do.
Really?
And it's just a matter of you just getting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you enjoy that job?
I do. Believe it or not, that's the only other job I would do besides DJing.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is not because of the money. I love talking to people. I enjoy conversating with people, helping people. Like, I love helping people. That's why I'm happy. Like, when you asked me to be on it, I can share my story of like how I helped out people, because a lot of people will ask me how did I do it, and I'm never afraid to tell the story of everything that's happened to me.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. And do you know Christmas by chance?
I met him a few times. Yeah, he works at, I believe he used to work at Costa. Now he works at Cadillac.
Yeah. So I had him on the pod. That's like really the only like car salesman I know. I know he's pretty big into the industry too. So, yeah, that's always intriguing to me. And he says like, yeah, like you don't really know how to. Really, selling is just wanting to help people. And so you're at Makova?
Makova.
Yeah. And what kind of cars do you sell there? Everything?
We have everything, dude. We have anything from your little Nissan Sentras, Versa.
Is it used or brand new? Or?
They're all used.
All used, okay.
But you have stuff like that. I mean, sometimes you have Lamborghinis. We have a Porsche right now. We have Maseratis. You have everything in between.
Yeah. What's the most, like, if you don't mind my asking, what's the most, like, expensive car you sold? Or like the biggest one you sold? So there's one time I remember I was at Viva. Yeah.
And that one was Kia Sorento, one of like it was like a special edition one, special color, special interior. I think that one was close to like 85 to 90 grand.
Wow, a Kia Sorento.
Wow.
Wow,
it was like a one of one. Like I've never seen another one like it.
Yeah, damn. Have you ever sold 2 cars in one day?
Oh yeah, there was one time I've sold 5 to 6 cars in one day.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
and that's what I'm saying. So you can have days where you don't see anybody, or have weeks, and then you can have a day like that, and that just makes up for everything.
And then you want to go to the fucking bar and turn up, bro. Yeah. Damn.
So it's like, imagine just living off that energy, a whole day of just hyped up adrenaline going, and you just want to keep it going afterwards.
Yeah. Damn, that's insane, bro. Oh my god. And is this your first time like really elaborating on the story?
Kind of, sort of. But when people ask me, I will tell them everything if they have the time. Yeah. I will literally tell them.
How do people know, or like what it like just?
Because believe it or not, I've actually had a bunch of other DJs come up to me. I won't say who or anything, but a bunch of them, they were like, "Hey, we want to stop too. Like we don't want to stop doing it."
And they just because you guys are close in that aspect, they know what you've been through and like everything like that. So
and the thing is that they see me doing it, and like they DJ too, and they'll be like, "Hey, we really want," like they're getting sucked in too. So they're like, "We want to know, how did you do it? Like, if you can do it, we can do it." What
are the early signs of getting sucked into?
I mean, it's hard to tell, because like what it was just like, you can be out every day. Like, I mean, I love going out still.
Yeah.
But I can go out and not drink. So you could be out every day and not drink. It just like when you start going to after parties every night. Like I was going to an after party every single night. So imagine I'd go DJ, and then go an after party, leave at 6, 7 in the morning, sometimes even later. And then next thing you know, you go back home, just shower, change, nap for a little bit. You're back drinking 3 hours later. I remember there was one time that I was just partying for so long that, leading up to like that, those 2 weeks when I was going like pretty crazy. I called one of my buddies up. I was like, "Yo, I'm too fucked up to go to see my parents. My daughter's at my house. Can you go get me a change of clothes and get my DJ equipment?" And he went to later and set up everything, left my clothes there. He didn't want to even see me. Can imagine having just a random guy go to your house. He's like, "Hey, Jonathan sent me to get this," and you're like, "All right, like we believe you. Like we know how he is right now."
Yeah.
Set it up, everything for me, and then he just left. I showed up to later, like 10 minutes before I was supposed to DJ. Went in the restroom, changed, went played, and still went after partying again.
Yeah, bro. That's a crazy lifestyle to be able to like just kind of maintain, you know.
Yeah. A very expensive one. Very expensive one.
Yeah. For people like who still go out and are like have to be social, do you still have a good time like being out and like not being like fucked up, you know?
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine, but I think it took me a while to realize it.
Yeah.
So the thing that I did though was, for when I got completely sober, for a good 2 to 3 months, I did not go out. I would ask my dad to take me to DJ and then pick me up afterwards to make sure I wouldn't mess up. I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Was
there a lot of temptation?
Oh, a bunch. Yeah. Like all I had to do was just say, "Hey, don't pick me up today," and I would go with someone. You know, someone's, especially with the DJ, everybody's willing to take a DJ to an after party to do anything. You know,
for sure.
And I was like, no, I just had to hold it to myself, and I was just like that for like 3-4 months, and then eventually I was like, okay, little by little, let me go out a little bit. I would go out, like if I didn't have the day off, I would just go somewhere chill early. I would go there, be home by like 10, 11. And just little by little, and then eventually you start to become more comfortable going out. You can still go out. I have a great time going out and still not drinking.
Yeah, for sure. That's something I've realized. Like, even though I've never even been don't get me wrong, I still drink, but it's never been like I've never been a huge drinker. And I've kind of I do kind of like to go out sometimes without drinking, because like just having your right state of mind, like just like. You actually know what you're feeling, your feelings, with like it's cool to understand those being out and like still being able to conversate with people and just having those skills and not having to be fucked up all the time.
And the cool thing is when you're able to have that confidence too from not being fucked up.
Yeah.
And you realize you're like, oh, I've always had it. I didn't need the drinking or the drugs to have that confidence. I've always had it.
For sure. Yeah, that's kind of how like prime example, because I was doing like it was like I guess a 75 hard, but I was just trying to not drink so I had a half marathon on Sunday. So it had been maybe like 2 months like since I had a drink. And honestly, like, after the first week, I was like, I don't even feel like drinking anymore. And it's, and then like that later anniversary like came about, and I knew I wasn't going to drink. But it was like I did get offered like a lot, but it just felt like so don't get me wrong, it's fun to drink. It's fun to like have those like experiences with especially with your family and friends and stuff. But it was so empowering, like not having to just still go and conversate, have great conversations, like still have a great time and not like leave like fucked up.
And you don't have to worry about driving home. Am I going to be okay?
Exactly. Yeah. Waking up the next day at like 8 a.m. Like just being able to do stuff.
And that's a thing too. When you stop drinking, you stop partying, you realize how much more time in a day you have.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because you're essentially, when you're drinking, your day revolves around like the drinking and then the recovering, and then you need to get some sleep. And yeah, bro, it just throws your entire next day off if you get fucked up, you know.
And then the way I was doing it after partying, it just kept going and going. So that time of the day, so my 4 hours that I would go to work, those 4 hours lasted me forever now, because I was just living that 4 hours all day, every day.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And there's days where you were up for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, longer, bro.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's insane, bro. Well, I definitely want to get into so we had some questions from like the guests. This is like the first pod where I've done Q&As before, but I want to start integrating it with the guests and stuff. So, okay, work-life balance. So someone just put work-life balance. How do you manage like the work and life like balance?
So for me, honestly, that's one of the things. So I've always been a really hard worker. And that's why my parents never wanted me to get a job when I was in high school, because they knew I was going to love working so much. And now with the work, so like, it's funny because I know exactly how much I'm working, everything. So if I know I'm going to go to work through this time to this time, and then my outside life besides work starts at this time. So it's like, I know everything. So I just make your mindset knowing you're going to work from this time to this time. You need to stop working at this time and live your life on this time when you can.
Yeah, for sure. What about like when you have to plan out like for a show? Do you work at home? Or?
I do, and I just give myself, because like I'm pretty good now with getting music and everything. And the crazy thing is, when I get music for like a show and I'm at home and I have my daughter, I just spend maybe 10-20 minutes, or like when she takes a nap, that's the only time I do it. Yeah, there's times where I don't even get music. I would literally just download it, not even listen to it, and listen to it theirs, because I want to keep that life.
Yeah, because you can I've noticed, like, you can listen to the song but not have it playing like in the, what's that called, like
on the sound system, and then you just have it on my headphone. Yeah,
exactly.
And there's times that I listen, I'm like, damn, what the hell did I download? What did I download? And I was like,
yeah, for sure. Actually, now that it just got brought up, is there a horror story you have when it comes to a DJ event or anything? Like something just happens so bad, like maybe your equipment didn't work or like something like that.
There was one time I remember I was DJing at Born and Raised, because that was actually one of the first J&K residency I had with them. So at Born and Raised, and I remember partying like crazy. We had all these people in the booth with us. I had my laptop and somebody knocked it over. It fell, the music stopped, everything. And my laptop completely like broke, like the screen went black, everything.
MacBook?
And MacBook.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it hit directly on the corner of the screen, so everything just shattered.
Bro. And so what happened from there? Like,
I literally had to put Spotify on the rest of the night, because there was no thing.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just
yeah.
That sucks, bro. Were you even able to mix shit?
No, nothing. No. Just like that, and I had to put. And there's another one time too. What's actually a later, it's crazy because you saw where I DJ at later.
Yeah.
People were all around us, everything. People put a bunch of cups, bottles on that table that I'm at. And if they don't pay attention, it falls over. And it's fallen over before, where it landed on my controller. And it was like, since it was alcohol, it got sticky. And I would hit a button and nothing would go down. And I'm just like, well, how am I supposed to do this? Or I'm trying to use my jog wheel and it does not do anything.
Fuck, bro. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. And then later gets crazy, bro. Like, that's fucking, yeah, definitely see that. That's like the legendary corner, the DJ corner.
Yeah. I love that corner. It's my corner. It's my corner.
Yeah, you own that corner, bro. And then, all right, so I guess I'll answer some of these too. So with work-life balance, honestly, that's something that I'm terrible with right now, because I don't have a specific place, because I edit. So I can literally edit anywhere. Sometimes I'm editing in my bed. Sometimes I'm editing in it can be super late. So that's something I definitely want to get down, is like a schedule. But I'm be completely honest right now, it's all over the place. I guess it's not the worst because, like, for example, I don't have a daughter or a son. So like I don't have, even though I have people relying on me, it's like a lot of the time I have is just like with myself. But it's more of a mental health thing. Like I feel like I do a lot better if I just allocated time for work, allocated time for just chilling and like friends, and not having it all just bunched together, you know, because it can be, I mean, stressful, bro.
I mean, that's how it stopped. That happened with me. I worked so much and I didn't have that life.
Yeah.
And that's what caused everything with my daughter's mother, for me, her breaking up, the partying. I had work party life.
Yeah.
I didn't have work regular life.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, for sure, I would think if there's advice I would give, it'd be just, I mean, like you said, allocate time. I would say for sure, just make it a priority, and just like, yeah, make it a part of your day, like because as being like your own boss, like let's just say if you're an entrepreneur and stuff, you can treat yourself like the worst boss ever sometimes, you know? So you have to treat yourself like you're the best boss yourself, and like you just actively tell yourself. I think writing a schedule is actually really, really helpful. From this time to this time, I'm going to do this. I know I got to get these things done between this time and this time, and just kind of make time for like social, because just being, I think that's one thing I used to not do is I just kind of, even though I've always had like pretty good friends, I didn't make it a priority, you know. But I actually think it's really important too.
Yeah,
like,
very important. And just a little thing, like you never know. Like when I started making that life balance, having dinner with your parents.
Yeah.
I never did that before, and like just sitting there with them, talking with them for 10, 20 minutes makes a whole different in their day too.
For sure.
And then because you see them calm, you become more at peace with yourself.
For sure. And especially if you're a little bit older now, like, who knows how much more time we have with our parents, you know? So that's something I try to keep in mind as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do you prevent yourself from falling into the comparison trap, to comparing yourself to other people? Have you struggled with that before?
I have, and there was a good amount of time when I first started DJing in the bars, and then just doing stuff. So the one thing with me was, as much as I partied and DJed, I was never been late. I've never really missed a day of DJing.
Wow.
I never called. I could be as fucked up as I could, and I would still show up.
Yeah.
And my thing was the comparison, not DJ wise for like music, but I pulled myself different because I was always reliable. I could be borderline blacking out. You call me to go DJ there, I'll be there quick. You know.
That's a good characteristic. Yeah.
And that's one thing. That's why a lot of people would hire me, because I'm reliable. I would never call in. I would never be late. I'm always like, look at how early I got here.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I'm very punctual with me, and that's one of the things. I'm very punctual.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best traits to have, bro. And I think I've always been similar. Sorry, and I hate like not being ready for my guests, but not gonna lie, you pulled up like early, so I was like, oh, it's cool, we could just like kick it and stuff. But for the most part, I try to like be ready. But yeah, I think that's a really good trait to have for sure, bro. Did you ever compare yourself to other DJs?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I would compare myself to a bunch of people, and I was like, you know what? Like, I can't do that, because you hold yourself down. So like, and the thing is, my dad would even tell me. So when he would go pick me up from the bars, he'd be like, hey, he would straight up tell me, he was like, you sucked. You sound like so and so. You sound like so and so.
He would listen to this.
Yeah. So he's like me. He's always early. So he would pick me up. He would get there at like 12:30. Just sit outside in the car, and he would park right in front of Later. And he like, you sounded like so and so. But then he would give me the good ones, because I know so many like bigger DJs. He's like, hey, you sounded like that DJ tonight.
Wait, so he listens to DJs also?
No, he doesn't. I would show him so much stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he would be like, hey, you sound like, I could tell you sounded like you tried to sound like this tonight, or you tried to sound like this, or he was like, nah, you fucked up. You sounded like this guy.
Damn, that's great. So like, you can have a specific type of sound like throughout, like how you mix like, things.
Just the songs, the transitions, how you do stuff.
Wow.
And like, so he would tell me, he's like, hey, you did good tonight. He would straight up tell me, you did good tonight. Because he would listen to me for an hour and a half, 2 hours, waiting outside for me to get out. And he would get there early to make sure I wouldn't go after party.
Wow. Dude, that's amazing. That's like, for a dad who's like, probably, I mean, how old's your pops?
It's like in the 60s.
Yeah. I mean, people that age don't go to sleep that late, bro. So that's amazing, bro. Yeah.
Props to my parents, bro. They kept me good.
That's so dope, man. I would say for me, it's definitely comparison is... the biggest thing I always think about is comparison is a thief of joy. So anytime you compare yourself to anybody, you're automatically just gonna like just fall into a negative mindset, bro. It can be a very it's something I struggle with a lot, but one thing that I realized is that you can't, like, your story is so much different from everybody else's, and you don't know, for example, if there's someone that's doing the same thing as you don't know what they had to do to kind of get to that position that they're in now. And also, like, you don't know what they're experiencing, what they're going through, and they could be thinking the same thing about you. So it's just like, I try to look at it more as like, we all have a different path, and your path is different. And honestly, another thing is, the more like you're confident in your abilities, the more like you just put in time, and like the more you start understanding like what you have to offer, then that kind of just goes out the window, because you know what you bring to the table.
Yeah, and like they say that overnight success takes 10 years for that one overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never know, just like that, you could be grinding for 10 years.
Exactly, and one day it just pops off. And I think what I hear is like, a lot of people end up like, when their breakthrough's about to happen is when like a lot of people quit. Yeah,
it's the worst person. And I remember too, I remember seeing something on Twitter way back in the day. It said, the best day of your life, like when something's about to happen, you're gonna have the worst day of your life the night before.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
And you never know. You think you're having the worst day, it could be worse, and tomorrow could be the best day of your life ever.
Damn. Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind for sure. And yeah, man, just like, and really just show. What I started doing is like, instead of comparing and instead of like just feeling envy, like, turn it around and like show so much love towards people and like and what they're doing and support, and it just changes a lot of things, bro. Like, at least from what I've seen, what I've experienced.
Yeah, definitely. Even like, there's I've played other shows besides like the J&K shows, and people see me as the one of the bigger DJs.
Yeah,
and they expect me to be the guy that pulls up 20 minutes before I play, but I'm the guy there at 8 p.m. waiting. I'm by myself waiting for everybody to get there, and they're like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing here? You don't go on for another 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm just here, just chilling. Like,
for sure. Yeah. I mean, that shows a lot of like, character and everything, bro. Like, cause you don't want to ever feel like you're like kind of above anybody else.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the thing. I hate doing that. Like, I remember before, there was a time when I did feel like that. God knocked me down to the lowest point ever right afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. And that, it's humbling.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I've been there. There are times you guys probably see me DJ, not knowing I'm negative $100 and something in my account, that I've been up for days, and you would never think it.
Yeah. Damn, that's so crazy. And I'm sure a lot of people, you're very well known in the city, bro. So I'm sure like I said, bro, I think this will be like an amazing story for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. How to use pressure efficiently. Do you ever get nervous before a show?
I do and I don't, because I'm confident in what I do and I know what I do. And honestly, not drinking, it makes you feel a lot less pressure, because there's times before not drinking, doing drugs, where I would be doing stuff. I stand up there in front of a show and I'm like, oh fuck, like my heart's racing. Fuck, like, am I gonna fuck up? I don't know what song to pick first and everything. So when you stop doing like that, you feel really no pressure anymore. It's rare for me to feel pressure now. As you're confident in what you do, there's really nothing.
Yeah, and people think the opposite. People think like, all right, I'm nervous, I need to take a couple shots, and so I can kind of like.
Yeah, and it's totally the opposite.
Yeah, I can agree. I think you hit it right on the money. I think just knowing, like, just being so confident in what you do, and I think understanding, knowing that the amount of time you put in to prepare, preparation is everything. You go into something, a big event or anything, or I go into a podcast, and the only time I'm really nervous is like times I know I didn't prepare enough, But the when I knew I did all I've done and for preparation, and knowing that I've done, all I'm supposed to do, and just knowing that what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and just letting everything, controlling what I can control is the most thing. So the most important thing. Also, let's just say you, because pressure does come, especially like if you're performing for a big crowd or anything, or like the stakes can definitely be a lot higher. At least for me, I think seeing pressure as like my favorite quote, one of my favorites is, pressure is a privilege. So pressure comes from knowing that there's people like counting on you. There's people.
If you have pressure, you're doing it right.
Exactly. There's pressure, and people are counting on you. There's things that like you have ultimate responsibility of something. So seeing that as a privilege, knowing that you're in a very privileged position, and that you just are grateful for the opportunity, and you're going to do all you can to just kind of do it justice, and mm-hmm. do your best. And that's what I would say about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
No? Very good question.
Mm-hmm. What are some daily habits that have changed your life?
Daily habits that changed my life. Mm-hmm. I mean, a big one is, like I said, I'm religious, and every morning, say a little prayer every morning, and my day is always good. Mm-hmm. Another thing is at night, with my daughter even too, I make sure we say our prayers every time we go to sleep, mm-hmm. and that it gives you such a peace, and it changed my life because, like I said, I don't feel pressure really unless it's like something crazy, but it gives you everything that you need. And before, I mean, I would pray when I was small with my parents. And obviously when I was going through that crazy little lifetime, I did not do that. Yeah. And that gives me the most peace that changed everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. I think I definitely I've kind of not stepped away, but I distanced myself because I grew up Catholic. But I guess the reason why is because I guess the way my mind works, I ask I'm very curious about things, and I find myself asking a lot of questions. I like to know the reason behind a lot of things.
I'm the same way too.
So I guess I found myself really not in any bad way, but questioning certain beliefs. But it's only because if I'm gonna believe in those things, I want to know why, and I want to understand why, and just because I feel like that's where strong beliefs are held, just understanding why you believe a certain thing. But that's something I can definitely see as saying a prayer. I mean, just expressing gratitude, right, for everything.
Because honestly, for the amount of stuff that I've done, I should probably not be here. Mm-hmm. Even my parents told me today, we didn't think you're going to live to be 25 for all the crazy stuff that I was doing. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I did that and I made it out is something crazy.
No, it's a blessing in itself for sure, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, just from talking to you, the situations that you were in, and bro. I mean, it's definitely a blessing.
Yeah, big blessing. I felt like a cat. I had 9 lives. I used up everything. They're you're on your last life. You cannot fuck up anymore.
Yeah, damn, bro.
I'm the only one in my whole family who has diabetes.
Bro, what?
Yeah. So, and the thing is, I mean, I found out when I was 13. Yeah. And I just never made it part of my lifestyle. I wanted to be that. I'm going around, imagine every time you eat, I'm supposed to do it. Yeah. So you won't imagine going, on a date with a girl or something. Hold up, let me do my insulin. Yeah. So I just never did it.
And does drinking have a huge effect on that?
Oh, huge effect, because the alcohol turns into yeast in your stomach.
Spikes your blood sugar or what?
Yeah, super. So, that's why when I went to the hospital for it, I mean, I've gone to the hospital. Everybody knows that I have when they go to they tell me, oh, your blood sugar is high. A normal person's supposed to be 90 to 100. Mine was over 800. They told me that.
That's death, no?
Yeah, they told me I should have been in a coma.
What?
And the fact
that was 2 weeks ago, no?
2 weeks. And the thing is, I've been living like that for so long. They're we don't know how you're just chilling like this. No, you don't feel bad? And I was like, no, I don't feel bad. I'm just chilling. Because I went in for a cough to the urgent care for a really bad cough that I had. They checked my blood sugar and they're like, no, get to the ER now.
What? But why is it when your blood sugar's high, because I know some people that are diabetic, they need something to eat, something sweet. Is it because
theirs are low?
Oh, okay. So you can go low and high.
And mine's super high, super high.
Is there a reason? Do you ever drop low, or you're just always?
No, mine's always high. So it's mine's so high all the time. Even if I get to a 400 blood sugar, it feels low for me because I've been living at that 800 for so long.
Bro.
So it's certain. And after that, I've been starting to finally do my insulin little by little, because not just for me, I have to be here for Zoe.
Bro, yeah, I mean, do that insulin, bro. You got to.
Yeah.
And does the insulin just basically helps you lower it?
Yeah. Because technically, so it's saying my pancreas is what gives you your pancreas gives you insulin. Mine doesn't work. So every time you eat, it regulates how your carbs are and everything. Mine doesn't work, so I need that insulin to regulate it for me.
Wow, damn, bro. So did you Did you feel like shit when you went to the ER, or it was just a cough, really?
Yeah, it was just a cough. I went in for a really bad cough that I had for like 2 weeks, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And then they checked in, and they were just like, you need to go to the ER ASAP. Like,
how's your diet?
My diet's horrible, let me tell you.
Is it?
It's horrible, dude. And because since I don't do my insulin, I'm always hungry. So the food just goes through me instead of going. Like, obviously, you could eat like 2-3 meals a day. You're good.
Yeah.
I eat like 7 to 8.
Really? And you're not a big, like, you're tall, but you're not a big dude either.
And that's the thing, because the food just goes right through me. It doesn't absorb. It doesn't go anything.
Damn. So even if you wanted to, like, is it really hard to gain weight?
Yeah, super. You don't gain weight at all unless you do your insulin. Oh, and that's why I'm so tall and skinny. Oh, so now that I'm going to start doing it, I'm going to probably end up gaining some weight. And that's what I do. I'm super tall and skinny.
Do you gym?
I don't. So I used to gym. And then once I stopped doing it, my insulin, it's pointless because you lose your muscle. You get no nutrients to your muscle. So you're going for nothing. So now that I'm actually going to start doing, I want to actually go back to the gym and doing stuff because I'm going to start doing my insulin again.
Yeah. You probably feel a lot better too, bro. I mean,
and it's weird because I do and I don't. Because I've lived it for so long. Yeah. And it's like when I do my insulin, my blood sugars go lower, but they're still high.
Yeah. And do you feel worse when you do the insulin?
Not worse, but you just get like brain fog. And then like you crave some stuff because my body's so used to eating so much. I'm trying not to eat that much because if not, it's just going to go right back up. Yeah.
Damn, bro. That's not many people, because I mean, a lot of people have type 2. My dad, they have, like, almost not all of my family, a lot of my family members have type 2 diabetes. That one you develop, though, that one's like not.
And it's crazy how I found out, because I remember I was 13. It was on Mother's Day. I was with my family. A bunch of my family's from Socorro. So we were out there riding ATVs. And Soco Loco, yeah, bro. And we were out there riding ATVs, and I hit a little jump, and I fell off the ATV and broke my collarbones. So they took me to the hospital, and then when they went to the hospital, they did a urine test on me, and they're like, yo, you have a lot of like sugar in your urine. They're like, way more than, like, you should, like, you have trauma, so you should have a little bit, but you have way too much. And then I went back, and then they're like, yeah, you're a type 1 diabetic, when I found out when I was 13. So if I didn't roll over that ATV and break my collarbones, I would have never found out.
And you can just one day just end up like in a coma type shit or something.
Just like that, one day to the next.
Wow. Man, bro, that's blessings right there.
That's what I'm saying. I have my 9 lives, and I think I was on my last one. So I got to be good now. I got to take care of everything.
For sure. That's dope, bro. Let's see. How to deal with a heartbreak.
Damn.
Because I mean, you had a split up with like your baby mama, right? So
yeah. And I think I did it the wrong way. Obviously I did the thing anybody would do. Drink, party, do you want all that stuff.
Was that your last relationship?
It was. Yeah. And after that, it's one of those things is like, I wouldn't date anybody unless I want to show them to Zoe. So it has to be something really, really serious enough for me to introduce them to my daughter.
That's a big thing, yeah.
It's a super big thing for me. And that's why I think I don't, and plus I don't have time for it. And with like a heartbreak, I say I dealt with it horribly. I don't know exactly how to deal with the heartbreak because the last time I did it was very horrible. Don't
do what you did.
don't get a brand new car. Don't go on a police chase. Do not crash into a fire hydrant.
Yeah. Was the hydrant fucking?
Oh yeah, dude, water everywhere, bro. Oh, shit. Water. It looked kind of funny though. Like I'm surprised I didn't end up on Fifth Fam.
Whoa, dude. I mean, if you did that today, it would probably happen.
And it would be everywhere on the news.
Yeah. Wow, bro. I mean,
so I don't know how to deal with the heartbreak, but I'm pretty sure you guys know how to deal with it better, but don't do what I did.
Yeah. From my perspective, I'd be the worst person to ask, bro. I haven't, I've dealt with, I think, many heartbreaks, but nothing from a serious relationship. More so just like things that didn't pan out. Yeah. And I mean, I think it's still heartbreak because, I mean, you feel it, bro. And I would say, honestly, it's maybe sometimes not the best way to look at. It just depends. Whatever gets you out of it. But honestly, I think the main thing is just going harder at what you want to do. Yeah. And doubling down on like just your passions and what really makes you happy. And even though like at the time, I guess you think this person is like really important. Not to say that they're not, but they provide you with like a lot of happiness and stuff at the time. And once that leaves, it's like, fuck, like you just have to really remember like just keep in mind everything else that you have going on in your life, and really just go even harder, you know. In a way, it's a little bit distracting, but pretty soon, once you just kind of get past it, you know, it's time. I think it just takes time.
And to me, with mine, it took a long time for it to go.
For sure.
And that's when you find your own peace, when you're happy with yourself, and that's when you really get over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good question. We'll do like 2 more.
Sweet.
Opinions on manifestation.
I believe that a lot because, like I said, with my stuff, I manifested I need to get off stuff. I manifested where I wanted to be. You know those little templates that come out on Instagram? They're like, you 10 years ago, and like mine will pump up like or something like that. And I would see where I was at. I think it's crazy too because like when J&K would throw shows, I would see them at Coliseum throw shows. I would go to these things. I was like, I want to be up there. I want to be doing that. Just keep doing it, and next you know, that's where I am. Who would ever thought like I'm working now with the people that I've been wanting to always work with.
It's amazing,
and doing what I want to do. Just even the littlest manifestations. I wanted a daytime job. I went back to selling cars, manifesting what you do, because it was crazy how that happened. Like it was talking to the owner just randomly, and I told one of my friends. He actually told me, my best friend. He was like, "Would you ever go back to a better job?" I was like, "Yeah, dude. I would only go back to selling cars." A week later, I'm back at selling cars, and I'm just like, "What the like?" And he was like, "You called it, bro. Like, you called it. The littlest things you can do it as long as the energy is there. I think it will happen
for sure." I can wholeheartedly agree, bro. I mean, you picture like you just envisioning yourself in a position, and it can definitely really like manifest itself. It's just you need to. I mean, I think the most important is just like knowing what you need to do to get to that position, and not like just doing it every single day, like consistency. I mean, you wouldn't be in the position you are today if you didn't put in so many hours into your craft, you know? So I think that's the most important thing, just consistency, and really just celebrating small wins, bro. I think that's a big thing too. I think I forget to do that, but it's important along the journey to do that. And what do you manifest? What are you currently manifesting right now?
Believe it or not, I'm manifesting going to Disneyland with my daughter.
Dude.
Because I've been on probation for so long, I haven't been able to leave.
Wow.
And what the crazy thing is, a lot of people are going to find out now. I love amusement parks, but I've never been to one because I couldn't leave. Wow. So I watch YouTube all day.
So you couldn't go out of town for the past 6 years?
Unless I got to get a judge's approval, do all this stuff. But it's not worth it, like, to do it like that. They could deny it. You can have a whole trip planned out, and they could still deny it.
Wow.
So I didn't even try. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos of like Disneyland, Universal Studios. So I'm manifesting right now.
Dude, you have a whole life to live.
Yeah. So like I see everybody going to Mexico, to Tulum, doing all this stuff everywhere. I imagine I've been here this whole time.
Bro, yeah.
And that's my number one goal. I want to go to Disneyland with my daughter.
Are you planning that this year, or when are you?
I want to go in the summer.
How old's your daughter?
She's 3.
Oh, that's a really good age.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that's my main thing. I want to do that. I'm manifesting that.
That's amazing. Bro, I mean, I fucking love Disneyland, bro. I can imagine, like, for sure, even like for kids it's dope, but I think for adults it might be even better, bro, because you just like you actually get to really like take in like all, because they do such a good job of it, bro. Just the detail and everything. And yeah, bro, I mean, the fact that you still can experience all these places now, it's really dope. So did that prevent you from like doing shows out of town and stuff?
I got a few times to ask to be played some places like in Houston and Austin. I couldn't go, you know.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing, bro. I'm sure that's a lot of stuff that's on the horizon for that. So
yeah, it's literally, imagine like the whole time you have a door in front of you and it's just locked. Every time you touch it, locked.
Yeah.
And then you touch it one time, it opens, and you see it's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. You see the most amazing things coming.
Yeah. For sure, bro. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll do one more. Let's see. If you had to give like your favorite music genre, bro.
Favorite?
Yeah. Like you just listen to this the most.
Honestly, the melodic techno stuff that's going right now, because I will always do it. Like I'm always jamming out to it, no matter what time of day, night. I feel like it's always badass.
You gotta send me some stuff, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro. Like I love it. Like
yeah.
I will watch videos. I will watch DJs on YouTube all day, play it, just doing it. I just love the feeling it gives you. I love just everything about it.
Have you went to a boiler room before, or have you?
I've not. I want to. That's now I can.
Yeah, those are some things like that's. Like I said, I don't really listen to like techno like that, but something like that would be, I think, amazing to go to. First, I need to go to Lost just to check out.
You gotta come on Sunday,
dude. Yeah, I'll go check it out for sure. That sounds so dope. Hell yeah, bro. And then, so what about like your second?
I would say the corridos, but like the old ones.
Old ones. Okay.
Old ones.
Is there any new ones that you kind of like, or no?
I mean, I kind of do. I like all like the Fuerza Regida, the Grupo Firme, all that stuff. Like I showed you, like the tattoo I have of Chilano Sanchez. Chalino Sanchez, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, dude, I love that old stuff. It's crazy though, because you would never expect me to, like, you just pull up. You could pull up next to me in my car, and I'm jamming out to that, and you look at me, and you're like, nah, there's no way he's jamming out to it.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm a huge hip hop guy, so like, I listen to so many different things, but I'm really into just hip hop's probably my main thing. I really like the corridos. Like right now, I'm super into it, even though I have no idea what they're saying most of the time. I still try my best to sing. What about country, bro? Do you like country?
I do. Yeah. I actually like older country.
Okay.
It's harder for me to get into new country just because it's so really different.
It's like very poppy now. Yeah.
And I love old country, like Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, all that. George Strait. Like I have a whole playlist of just that too, old country, and I will jam out to that too.
Do you ever pull that out in your parties?
I've wanted to, but I don't know. Like it's one of those. I'm afraid of like it can make it sound good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. You have to find the right spot for it. It's like that one song that you're gonna keep forever until it's that one moment, and you're gonna only use it in that one moment, and that's it.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of those times where you're like, all right, this is a perfect moment for this song?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like I've tried. It's funny though, because like I was like, okay, I brought the crowd up to right here. Let me switch it because they're into like some weird stuff that I haven't tried, and I was like, okay, I'll try this, and it'll work, and I'll be like, okay, cool.
How do you like balance knowing like to keep it going and then knowing when to switch? Is it just a risk that you have to take?
Yeah, honestly, and you can kind of see like when the crowd and everything, but it's a risk because you want people to keep dancing, vibing, and everything, but also you want your whatever bar you're at or venue to make their money too. Yeah. So you need to give them time to go get drinks, go to the restroom, you know.
So sometimes you have to bring the vibe down a little bit. Yeah. Wow. Dang, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like you want to keep your job, but like how are they gonna pay you if they don't make no money?
Yeah. So it's like waves almost.
That's exactly. I like to take people on a musical journey, like up and down, and it's crazy because the guy who actually sold me my first little DJ controller.
At the swap meet?
At the swap meet.
Oh shit!
I asked him. He was like, "I want you to think of this," and to this day, I use this formula. Your whole set is a movie. Every song is a character in that movie. Some are background characters. Some are main characters. You gotta know when they come in and out.
Wow. That's pretty dope. That's the first thing someone like the dude who sold you your first control.
And to this day, that's what I live by. So like, you're gonna hear a Drake song, main character. You're gonna hear like the Fuerza Regida, main character. Peso Pluma, main character. I'm gonna just throw in some random stuff. You're gonna be like, what? And it's like a little background. You like it. Like you see, you know, when you watch a movie, you notice somebody in the background doing something. You're like, oh, like, and you take your eyes off the main character for a little bit.
Well, you need in a way, like it can't just be all main characters. Like you need a story. Like you need to like maneuver it to where like you're kind of leading people down this like path, you know. Damn. And so is the end of the last few songs, is that like the climax, or is the climax like during the? No,
it's weird because like you can change it whenever. Because I mean lately I've been the Swifties. I've been throwing in Taylor Swift there. Yeah. And you could throw it in somewhere, and it's crazy. It's a main character. You can end with it, middle, some stuff like that. Yeah. Was it like last week? I threw in, was it some Kings of Leon? And then I actually dropped some Paramore in my set later. Wow. And you would not expect it. It's like that one person that in that character, you're like, what? I thought you were gone. Like, I didn't think you would like come back.
Make an appearance. Wow. Dude, yeah, that's amazing actually.
And that's how I think of every set to this day.
Just a movie that you're taking them, like you're kind of creating in the moment.
Yeah, and it's actually like in some movies, like so example, like if the bar's slow or something, like the first hour, you know, people wait an hour to get, like people start going out at 11 o'clock or something, you know. That first hour you kind of take it slow in the beginning of a movie, usually kind of slow until it builds up. And
for sure. Are you do you ever record your sets?
I don't, and I actually have a reason for it. I used to, and the thing is, I would record it and I would put them out. but then your fans or just anybody who would listen to them expects you to play like that all the time. So I like to not record my sets just because I want people to like hear me live and to experience it. Because if you listen to a set, like if you have a certain DJ, you know if they're gonna play like that. You know they're gonna play like that. I want them to not know what I can play. You can. That's what I'm saying. Like I could play hip hop, reggaeton, corridos and stuff at later, but then you see me play a lost total different.
Total different. Yeah, that's so dope. There's so many different aspects, bro. Yeah. Damn. So I asked this question to like the everybody on the show usually. So what's something that you'd want to leave guests with, like just advice for someone who's like going through a really tough time right now? It could be when like you were like, for example, think about like when you were at like your lowest, right? Something that you'd want to hear in that moment, you know?
Honestly, never give up on yourself and find your peace with yourself, because once you find peace with yourself, everything else will get way better. Realize that you don't need anything else. You could have nothing and still be happy. You could be the richest person in the world, but they're not happy. But if you can have nothing and still be happy, do what you love, find peace with yourself, you will always get out of everything.
Wow. I mean, that's leave you with that, man. That's a gem right there. And yeah, it's where so people can see you the next time. It's gonna be, well, this probably won't release until then, but you're gonna be at Lost on Sunday,
and then later tomorrow. So okay. I mean, usually Lost and Later are my two main ones. Sure.
And then yeah, bro. I mean, catch him at later most days. And then your Instagram is DJ Dropdeadd, right?
DJ
Dropdeadd. You usually post your schedule.
Every Monday or Tuesday I post it.
For sure. Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm super glad we were able to do this.
Me too, man.
It's I've been following you for a while, and I just love what you're doing, and I'm glad we were able to make it happen. And definitely think there's like really big things on the horizon, and I'm like, the fact that you're able to now experience like just like really another aspect of life is just going out of town and just doing different things like that, bro. That's badass. Yeah.
And remember, people, your mental health always matters.
For sure. The biggest thing, bro. I mean, that's why I started this. So
that's literally, that's why you go to my bio, you're gonna see it right there. Your mental health matters.
For sure. Love that, bro. So yeah, that's Jonathan, aka Dropdeadd, aka Señor Muerto. For sure. This will drop on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, episode 31. So
sweet.
Let's get it. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.